Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into something pretty transformative. It's this idea that if you want the key to better relationships with everyone else, you've got to start with the one you have with yourself.
All right, so let's just jump right in with a question that kind of gets to the heart of everything.
And I want you to really, really think about this for a second. Who comes to mind? Your partner, a parent, maybe your best friend? Well, the answer might not be what you expect. Yep, it's the one you have with yourself. That's it. This is the absolute bedrock for every single other connection in your life. I mean, think about it. It's the only one you're in 24/7. It's the constant that colors literally everything else. And Carl Jung really nailed it with this one. What he's saying here is that every single person you interact with, they're like a mirror. They reflect back to you what you secretly, deep down, believe about yourself. Your outer world is just a printout of your inner world. Wild, right? Okay, so if everything really does start from the inside out, how in the world do we build that strong inner foundation? Well, it all kicks off with a word you've definitely heard a million times, but it's so important to really get it. We're talking about self-esteem. Now, a lot of people think self-esteem is just, feeling confident, but it's so much deeper than that. It's the entire story we tell ourselves about our own value. And here's the kicker, the most powerful part. You are the author of that story. You hold the pen, and you can start a new chapter anytime you want. And you can see the impact of this in the real world, like right here. On one side, you've got low self-esteem. That's where you see self-neglect, being super critical, feeling like you have no control. But flip the coin, and with high self-esteem, you get self-care, optimism, taking charge of your own life. It really changes how you walk through the world. And please hear this. This is so important. Your worth isn't up for debate. It's not conditional. It doesn't care about your job title or how much money you have or what anyone else thinks of you. You deserve to value yourself. Always, period, full stop. So once we start putting in the work, strengthening that inner core, that's when the magic happens. That's when we can actually start to consciously, intentionally build the kinds of relationships we really want on the outside.
I mean, how amazing is this metaphor? A spider weaves its web out of itself. It's not finding the web somewhere else. And that's exactly what we do. We're not just finding relationships out in the world, we are weaving them from our own stuff, our own beliefs, our own consciousness. We're the spider, and our life is the web. And Stephen Covey, he takes this idea and runs with it. He's basically saying that real healthy connection isn't about finding someone to complete you. That's just movie stuff. No, it comes from a place of being whole all on your own. It flows from independence and self-respect. Okay, so that all sounds great, but how do we actually do it, right? Well, think of this list right here as your own personal Bill of Rights. This is your toolkit for claiming that self-respect we've been talking about. It's about giving yourself permission to have your own feelings, to say no and not feel bad about it, and to build a life with relationships that actually feel good to you. And when you start claiming those rights, it naturally leads us to the next step. And I'm not going to lie, this can be the hardest part of the whole journey, but it is without a doubt the most rewarding. We're talking about setting personal boundaries. Okay, let's get something straight right now. Boundaries are not about building walls and shutting people out. Not at all. They're about honoring yourself. They're just these little invisible lines we draw that say, hey, this is me, this is what I need to feel safe and respected, and this is how I protect my own peace. And the difference between a boundary and a wall is everything. It's absolutely critical. See, boundaries come from self-respect. They're flexible. They actually let the good stuff in. Walls? Walls are built out of fear. They're rigid, they're reactive, and they block everything. A boundary says, this is what I need to feel good in this relationship. A wall just screams, get away from me. And when people cross those lines, it tends to happen in a couple of ways. First, there's trespassing. That's a pretty direct intrusion, right? Like when someone gives you tons of unwanted advice on your life choices. Then there's enmeshment, which is way more subtle. That's when you kind of get tangled up with someone else, where you can't tell where you end and they begin, and you suddenly feel responsible for their happiness. Sound familiar? So, what happens when you actually do all this stuff? You build up your self-esteem, you start weaving your world with intention, you draw those healthy lines. What's the result? Well, it's nothing short of a profound transformation.
You literally stop chasing after people in relationships and you start attracting them instead. It's like you develop this inner calm, this confidence that acts like a magnet. And the right people, the healthy, respectful people, they're just drawn to that. And the drama-filled, needy people, they just kind of fade away. They can't stick to that peaceful energy. And a huge part of how we get there is by rewriting that internal script we talked about. It can start with something so simple, but so powerful. Let's try it. Just take a deep breath and really let this sink in as you hear it. I am love. I am peace. Can you feel that? Just a little shift that happens when you claim that as your truth. I am successful. And you know why? Because you are the one who gets to define what success even means. Nobody else. And this right here, this is what it's all about. It's the summary of the whole journey. When you love and appreciate yourself, you create this energy of worthiness, and you radiate it out into the world, attracting people who are on that same wavelength. And the people who aren't, they just can't stick around. It's not even a fight, it just happens naturally. So we're ending right back where we started, with you, looking in that mirror that is your relationships. The question is, what's the one reflection you see that you're ready to change starting today? Because remember, the power to change it doesn't belong to anyone else. It's all yours, and you can start right now.